What's up, Москва? Как дела?
Hey, hey. Good. What's up? What's up there on your side?
Oh, I don't know why Zoom picked it this way, but you looking the other way, totally opposite. Are you looking at me? Try to look in the
Yeah.
camera.
Apple is about to introduce, if not yet introduced, the new feature that, well, actually track the movement of your eyes while on the video and video call, and change it so that you look like you're looking at the camera, but not at the screen.
Oh, that is so cool. That would be really great. I know lots of people struggling doing the Zooms right now in meetings, and everybody says, look at the camera. And it is not, oh, there you go.
That's completely, unnatural. You want to look at the screen, but not like here.
Right. Well, I want to look at you when I'm talking to you. Besides COVID, it seems like politics is really at the essence right now of all conversations and daily activities. And it seems, I mean, whoever I talk to, it always goes, one of the top topics goes, did you see the debates? Did you see what Trump is up to? I mean, it's very, very political right now in the society here. So I don't know what kind of information you guys getting over there in Moscow about this, but it's been very eventful. First, we get the debates, which was, well, it's hard to call it the debates. I don't know if you got opportunity to watch it, but
so that's completely different here. I mean, in terms of what people do, it's golden autumn here, and we enjoy gathering the fruit in our country houses, like these apples. That we have a bunch of them here. In terms of politics in Russia, it's always calm. Everything is fine generally, as you know it. But it is believed that Trump is better in debates than Mr. Biden.
That is, I'm sorry, that is believed in Russia. So,
well, that's at least what they write in Russia.
Oh, okay.
People in the street, they really don't care. They don't in Russia. They don't know much about the U.S. generally and U.S. politics in particular. So if you just stop anyone on the street and you ask him about what's who gonna win the next elections in the U.S., Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump, they probably will ask, I don't know, who's Mr. Biden? They heard about Trump, but they're likely to hear about anything about the presidential elections generally in U.S. So this is what the analysts and the professional newspapers, mass media write.
Wow. So, but wait, are you serious that some people would ask who is Biden?
No.
Wow, I am really shocked. Now, I have to say that it's been over 20 years I'm here, and I'm still thinking of Russia the way I know it, which I know is not quite practical and correct. But I mean, I still take pride in Russian people being so much more knowledgeable in events, in international events, than I often find in other countries. So I see it's been changing. How can someone not know Biden nowadays at this stage of the game?
Well, we do distinct Austria from Australia as compared to some people from other countries, and we know the difference between Iran and Iraq. But what you are saying is generally relates to general knowledge about physics, geography, history, literature, culture,
not current events.
But as for the politics, I mean, people in Russia, they often even don't know their local politics.
There's such a big talk about Russians manipulating American politics. And I always want to correct people. It's not Russians, okay, say Putin or say government or say Russian government. And in this kind of a scope of discussion where everybody is here, seems like is so sensitive about hearing Russians and American politics, it seems it's almost there is impression that all Russians have something at stake, you know, and to hear from me that so many people wouldn't, I mean, are not even do not care. They don't even know major names like Biden. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, that.
Well, I hear you. I guess it's kind of universal because I don't think many Americans know any Russian politicians besides Putin.
Yeah, exactly. Besides Putin, yeah.
Unless they really following and have something to do with politics. So what's new with you guys besides a harvest of apples and
Very tasty. No, really good autumn because that's a boom of construction in Moscow, the construction of the building of skyscrapers. Right now, I'm living in the skyscraper. That's a residential building, 3 of them, and they all 50 floors height. That's very unusual for Moscow. And Moscow authorities, Moscow government, and the business in construction, they take in possession various new districts, and they try to build skyscrapers, very high building, and that very often in many districts of Moscow comes essentially in a big battle with local people, with the residents that used to live in a more calm and more, let's say,
5-floor buildings.
5-floor building. Well, yeah, 5 to 10 floor buildings.
Yeah, when I left Russia, there was no real skyscrapers. Bashня Tower Ostankino was the tallest.
Yeah, you can see it actually from our window.
So that's quite a shift within 20 years that actually, you know, residents are forced to live in such buildings of 50 stories, and I mean that's pretty crazy. Of course, that would change the culture of the small communities and neighbors and personal relationships. So how welcome or how possible it is for regular residents to go out and protest something, because here my pickup is that it's not really welcomed or possible in Moscow, Russia. What's the real situation on that?
It's not that bad when it comes to sort of regular, casual, day-to-day problems of people. So unless and until people go and protest against Putin, for example, and the Moscow government specifically, like against Russia, Moscow Mayor Mr. Sobyanin, or someone else from Moscow government, that's more or less permitted.
You don't need the permission, or you still have to go through some kind of a process?
Well, you normally do need a permission. You do need well, not a permission for the smaller gatherings. You need a notification to be made. So the authorities can't refuse or just say that you can't gather unless there is a specific reason. For example, that your gathering will cause some mass destruction or risk other people.
So would you say it could lead to some positive actually be noticed, those protests or citizens' participation, or it's kind of not very useful? Good effort, but
it's not that efficient. It's not that efficient, unfortunately, because when it comes to, you know, the big size budgets and big size businesses participating in this, and the also reflects the will or intention or the plans of the authorities, the people can go out and protest, but they often just not take into account by the authorities, and it's not that efficient in these terms, unfortunately.
There have to be certain conditions, I guess, in a society for those things to work, actually.
It's always good when there is a discussion in society. And I have a feeling that the COVID-19 related restrictions that we now again have in Moscow, have in place in Moscow, being that the employers are stimulated to let the employees work remotely.
Yeah.
So people got more time essential
On their
that
hands.
they can devote to their personal business.
Interest. Yeah.
Well, at least because they don't need to travel from home to their office and back. In given Moscow transport problems and traffic jams, sometimes it takes 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours per day. But on different aspect, how much people would like or would prefer to work 4 days per week instead of regular 5 days?
Oh, well, that's a popular topic. It's been here rotating on and off in the news and everywhere for a couple of years at least. Wow. So, I mean, everybody loves this idea. It just seems not all companies can switch to that. Wow. So what's happening with that?
They made a poll, essentially, like social poll. And not surprisingly, only 15% of Moscow employers like this idea. So 85% of the employers they don't like the idea of having 4 days business week.
No, don't say what?
Most people would like to have 4 days business week. They feel that they will be more efficient at work during the 4 days business week at one hand. On the other hand, they will have more time that they could devote to their family, their personal stuff, their personal business, their health at the end of the day, and this kind of things.
Well, sure, that makes sense. And in one of my previous companies I worked at, they actually partially implemented that. People were rotating, some groups of people were rotating, taking, not every week, but like some other weeks. So somebody was still be in the office, let's say on Friday. I mean, everybody's just burned out by Friday, you know? So I think it would be more efficient. People would be happy. And I think like in some European countries, they adopted that, no?
That may be the case for Spain, for example, but in just a little bit different aspect. They have siesta, so they don't work during the hottest hours of a day that normally, I understand, take place between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., for example, or 5 p.m. Then they work another hour or two, and then they go home. And maybe for France, because France is well known for its pro-employee attitude. I have a friend that has a friend from France, and she used to work for an organization in France, obviously, apparently, and then something happened, and she was fired. She was fired for some reasons not associated with the quality of her work, not for cause, but for other business reasons. And I understand that after she was fired, she was paid for 7 months her average monthly salary, 7 months. And after that, she was paid 75% of her average monthly salary for 2 years.
Oh my gosh. Everybody wants to be fired then.
Everybody wants to be in France.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's
Typical.
funny.
I mean, it can be typical. It must
No,
be.
I'm saying it's, well, there could be deviations, but I'm saying it's more or less in the terms of French attitudes and protection of the employees. That's very different from what happens in US, I understand, and it's different even what happens in Russia, because Russia is pretty much the prime play country as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would not be happening here, that's for sure. Not
Yeah,
close.
like in Japan, you can become sick.
Mhm.
You may be ill, and that no one cares. It's fine, but until and unless until you work from the office, so you may be sick like hell. I'm sorry, but you need to come to the office and sit on your chair and work. So that's no one gonna fire you for that. I hope that's the same in US. And by the way, what's the latest with the COVID?
Well, that's first of all a very interesting piece of news and information on Japan. Wow, very strict.
Just small addition.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. um, COVID here, you know, is well the general knowledge. We all should stay away from each other. Masks. Finally, there is agreement more or less on that. It's a good thing. In some places, it is mandate, so you have to wear masks if you go outside. Others are less. I mean, it's so there's such a big variety depending if it's a democratic state or Republican. You know, Republicans are much loose on all these restrictions, and they have point, and many people agree that, you know, the more we stay closed up, the farther we are in economical chaos as a result. But Democrats, they well, I'm not going to generalize like that, but the tendency is that people are who more on Democratic and liberal side insist that in order to get back to the economy, we have to take control of COVID. So it seems it sparks in one places, it's more controlled in others, so it's very localized. There is no unity in everything. There was no unity on masks, no unity on how it transports and passed from person to person. It's just a lot of emotion, a lot of, you know, lots of people, I mean, lost their jobs, so you could understand that. Those who can work online are very lucky. Then the school started. That's another huge debate. So those who are, you know, in a better shape, they can have things open and people going places. But overall, it's huge problem. And how's this in Russia? Because
Yeah.
I hear all the time that though Russia is still in top 5 with US, well, US is number 1. I don't understand how the numbers are so much smaller considering that Russia is the biggest country on this planet, and yet the numbers are still so much smaller, and big cities in Russia are much more, you know, people are much more in contact than here in suburbs. Do we trust this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're the biggest country, but by size and the territory, but not by population. We are 3 times more than US by population, I think. Well, almost 3 times, I think. Maybe 2.5. Okay, but many people say that they don't trust the official numbers. For example, if a person was COVID-19 positive, but he died from the some problems with his liver, for example, then he is likely to be not recorded as COVID-19 related death, but as a person that died for some liver problems.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, but you know, there is a bigger problem. The bigger problem is that many people, the majority, appears to either not care about COVID-19 problems or just don't not believe in it at all. So we call them COVID-19 dissidents. So people think that COVID-19 is some kind of artificial problem that was created by some secret government, by some US, Chinese, Russian authorities that want to control people for various reasons, etc., etc. That's a smaller part of the society. The bigger part of society appears not to care much about the COVID. They believe that they understand that COVID-19 exists, and they realize that, but they don't seem to care very much about their health, the health of the surrounding people. They believe that they, even if they become COVID-19 positive tested, they will cope with that. Although the authorities appear to be very cautious of COVID-19. I have recently seen a video where the Moscow transport authorities are using a special robot vehicle that is driving across the subway trains when no people inside, and they use just robot on the wheels. That's kind of just some kind of vehicle with artificial intelligence, or it's controlled remotely. So it drives across the drive side of the subway train after hours when no people inside, and it uses special light, ultraviolet, I understand, to over each seat in the train to eliminate the germs and the COVID-19 essentially, and bacteria, etc., etc. That's very high tech.
That is super high tech. That's like from some sci-fi from the future. I never heard it in any other country. Is that something new just coming out, or it's already out there?
Yes. I saw the video last week. So it's just really like a robot from iRobot with Will Smith, or this kind of movies.
Wow, Russia, man.
You should come and see.
Wow, way into the future. That's really cool. So I guess, if someone invested money into that, there must be, there must be a reason for it. But anyway, well, we're all waiting for the vaccine. Hopefully.
Use Sputnik 5.
Right. Yes. Wow. That sounds like a miracle event. That's it's a bit too good to be true too fast. Well,
what was the name of Hollywood U.S. actor that posted on his Instagram account the news that he will use Russian Sputnik 5 vaccine?
Oh, there is one?
Yeah, what was his name?
Actor? Who?
No, there is not just one, I think. Which is funny. But it's Brody? I think it's...
Who?
No, not Brody. Brody, yeah.
We better
I will tell you later. I will double check. But it was funny to read and interesting to read.
Huh, interesting. Are there any Russians in Hollywood yet?
Russians everywhere.
Not much. Well, that's interesting, but well, I guess we will follow that and see how what happens.
Things develop.
And yes, and
I'm surprised that Steven Seagal is not yet supporting the Sputnik 5 vaccine, and he's not enjoying it. Steven Seagal. Yeah, I think he's Putin's ally. He has Russian passport, I think.
Steven Seagal, really? Oh, I don't know that guy that closely. Wow.
And he has a flat in Chechnya's capital. Ramzan Kadyrov made a gift to him.
Oh, okay. Is that the checked information? I don't want to get in trouble.
No, that's check information. That's true. That's so strange, but so real.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So think about it.
I know Gerard Depardieu is a big fan, and
Yeah, and Gerard Depardieu also got a flat in Moscow.
and you know that's who I follow, and well, that guy cannot do wrong for me. I'm waiting for his Russian wineries, you know, reach Trader Joe's here locally.
Well, who knows?
He's expert from Russian wineries.
Well, we've been to one of the Russian prominent Russian winery actually this summer in Krasnodar region, which is near Black Sea,
Oh yeah.
and that's privately owned by our friends, and that's
The one you visited.
yes, very beautiful place, lots of plants, and just the everything is just perfect there, and the soil and the views and the air and the approach. So they do a lot of wine, and they produce a lot of wine. I'm not sure that it's available in Trader Joe, but the definitely one of the one of good examples of Russian wineries, modern Russian wineries.
Well, I would love to try some of that. I know you got lots of good bottles there for very good price.
Yeah. Well, that was different. That was just a regular local wineries that are Soviet Union, historical Soviet Union plants.
You know, here I'll have to run to do my twice a month shopping today. My big shopping list. It's a big event, but you know, since we're talking about the wineries, I think our famous Napa Sonoma wine is gonna go up in price because the fires like nothing before. I mean, every year it seems like it gets worse and worse. And you remember, I shared with you that our great castle that we all went to when you were visiting.
I heard, yeah, I heard.
Got some damage as well, so it's really tough here, and the wineries.
But it's survived, right? I mean, they got damaged to their cellars or some part of the castle, but generally the castle is
standing. Thanks God. That's the most beautiful castle I've seen in America, which probably
but I just want to say, come to Europe, to Italy. They have plenty of them.
It's so nice to have a castle here too. I hope it stands. Anyway, you guys enjoy it, but don't forget about the masks. I know you're good at.
Yes, we do wear the masks.
And Nafanya the dog. Mask for him.
Nafanya the dog is he doesn't wear the mask because we thought it's unhumane. But we restrict his communication with other dogs, so that in case the other dogs live in the family there where one of the members of the family is COVID positive,
they do say
the dog doesn't carry the virus on its head or fur or whatever. So we just restrict Fanny from communication with other dogs.
And how is he taking that?
Well, he's tired because he's a very friendly dog. When he
stressed out about that social limitation that you put on him.
Well, we talk with him on this topic regularly, so we try to explain to him that it's not our stupid idea; it's just the necessity of our time.
That is just the core key family feature and tradition to talk to kids and explain everything. That is success for any family. I applaud you. And you know what? That makes me think I should talk to my guy more often. Thank you. It's so good to talk to the family. You exchanged it, you exchange most valuable.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any topic. There are no limitations. Oh, almost.
Wow, I would never expect that to hear from Russia, but
Okay.
okay. Well, thanks again. I look forward to next time. Enjoy the dog.
Yes.
Hello to everyone.
See you soon and take care.
Yeah, всем привет. Ну, пока.
Bye bye. Пока. Bye from Russia.